XTU have sent me this action cam to try, and I was really keen to try it because I love gadgets and I love technology, and I like to see how it progresses. Because years ago, kind of budget action cameras just weren't any good, the stabilization and the video quality. But that brings us to this, the XTU S6, and it has a really impressive specification list. It's all the, whoa, oh, it's just turned off. Comparing it to the GoPro Hero 10, and well, it's got tough competition because I consider GoPro the best action stabilization cameras you can get. Side by side, they look very similar. I want to start with the price because the XTU is a budget action camera and it's just over £110, and the GoPro Hero 10 is, well, 2.5 times that. It's about £250 at current price. So for me, it's about the image quality. I'm so used to high image quality now with the Nikon 4K, and even the GoPro has good quality as well. So will the image quality be good? And then you have to think about the second thing for me is the stabilization. Will it actually be a useful action camera that can deal with the stabilization of movement? So straight out of the box, it comes with such an array of accessories and adapters that I don't even know where to start with this. It's so impressive. One of the most impressive things, it comes in with waterproof housing, which is amazing because it goes down to 131 feet. This enables the camera to go down to. Now that's amazing. I don't know where you'd scuba diving, I suppose. My bathtub is not that deep to try. Unfortunately, I don't have anywhere here to try the underwater feature. I'm in the middle of the country. I don't live near the coast or anywhere that I can try it. So the packaging and everything is top notch. I can't fault it. So it comes with a micro SD card, which is really nice because it's 64 gigabyte. I hate taking them out the camera because they're so small, and I have put them in my adapter. It has an on and off switch, it has the switch to go to the front screen and the back screen. Unfortunately, you can't have them on at the same time, I don't think. And when you're recording, you can't switch to the other screen during recording, so you have to choose one or the other before you press record. But apart from that, it's a touch screen. It seems responsive. I've got no problem with that. The image quality on the screen is good. Although when I was in sunshine earlier outdoors, it was difficult to see the back of the screen. So I put it in the shadow. I use myself as a shadow and use the screen like that, but that's fine. So it does feel like a solid little unit. It does seem professional. There's nothing about it that feels cheap, or it might break, or it might not work so well. Though comparing it to the GoPro, well, the GoPro feels quite a lot heavier and more substantial, but this is because it has the waterproof. Apparently you can put this to 11 feet just as it is, but I'm not going to try that. But yeah, so that's why it has a bigger build and quite a bit heavier. So let's jump right into performance. I'm going to keep this really simple. I took it to my park. It was kind of sunny, which was good because we've got dark shadows, bright lights. See how it meters. And it has a Sony sensor on it, which is impressive because Nikon cameras have Sony sensors as well. So my expectations were quite high, really. And the quality is good enough. I think I'm used to such a high standard now that I don't think it's got its work out to try and please me. And the GoPro is definitely a better image resolution and picture quality. But comparing it to the Hero 10, the GoPro does have better image quality and resolution. It's quite obvious for me to see on the screen side by side, but that's what the price difference is, I would say. But is the 4K good enough? Yes, it is. With a bit of grading, you might be able to pull some of the back with the colours and contrast. So this is 4K 120 on the GoPro. So this is 5K 30 on the GoPro. Does it look any different from before? But I'm used to the highest standard. I should always shoot in 4K with good quality lenses. So I'm asking, no, this is £100, so asking something from £100 is ambitious. But it's certainly good enough for a lot of things. 1080p is a bit lower quality, but again, if you're just looking at it on a small screen, you're not going to notice those differences so much, I suppose. But the quality drop is there. So let's talk about the second most important thing, the stabilisation. So at first I just walked quite steadily through the park, and it's okay. It was smooth enough. I wouldn't say it was as good as the GoPro. Well, it's not as good as the GoPro. The GoPro is just silky smooth. But it's good enough for walking and slow movement. So if you're on a bike or a skateboard or something like that, you're going to find this, it does the job. When I started to run, I mean, running is probably one of the most extreme because it goes up and down constantly. You know, it's really testing it to its limit. And it's not so good in that respect. At times it just seems to, the footage just seems to jerk a bit sometimes. But if I kept smoother running, if I'm a bit more steady, then it's okay. But again, it can't compare to the GoPro. Even when I was running, this seemed really silky smooth. But this is what the price difference is. When I connected this to the USB-C on my computer, it didn't recognise it, whereas the GoPro it did straight away, and I can just import the files to my editor. But I had to take the SD card out and put it in my adapter and then put it in my computer, and it works fine, no problem. And the battery life is good enough. It lasts 90 minutes at 4K 30, which is quite a lot for action. I suppose if you're there for a whole day or you're turning it on and off, I'd keep the standby load as low as possible. And you can get spare batteries, I suppose, and charge it via USB-C. It has lots of picture applications, of a variety of picture modes. Although when I took a picture with it, again, the quality is a bit dubious at times. It's fine. It's going to get you photos that are reasonable quality. Again, I'm comparing it to Nikon. But also, maybe its greatest competitor is mobile phones, actually. Your mobile phone camera is really good. It's, you know, it's billion-dollar technology. So again, I'd probably just use mobile phone if I'm just going to do photography. Again, you also have video features on mobile phone, which this is kind of comparable with now. But mobile phones don't have image stabilization. You can't do movement. But again, the main feature for me is the underwater housing that comes with it. You can go underwater. I mean, I don't have anything. Any of my cameras can't go underwater. And to get those things, if you're at a swimming pool or the sea or a river or action sports in water, and you've got a real good action slow motion 4K video. So I was pleasantly surprised by the XTU S6. But comparing it to my GoPro, yes, my GoPro is better in probably every way, but it's like 2.5 times the cost. So if you want something for £100 that you use occasionally, that can do action underwater, I think in time, the budget range of these cameras are only going to get better to the point to match the GoPro. But certainly keep an eye on this if you can find it even cheaper or the future developments of XTU.